You haven't tried butter in your coffee yet.
You know, for as long as I'll live, I'll probably never understand the mechanics of how sitting at a computer doing work is more tiring than actually moving and exercising. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, anyways, I've been editing for like 8 million hours. I'm finally done with everything. I don't know what to do with myself. The Nintendo Switch comes out tomorrow. How am I gonna get through the day and then sleep and then... It is now giveaway time. I need to put everybody's names on this thing. Tim E, Sialeel, Amanda Me, A Films 1, The Techno Man 1, Hyrule Legends 64, he's a longtime viewer, Billy Tatum, Daryl Pham, Luis, Robert Bernal, Ice Flip 42, and Handsome Dog.
I can't get a hold of one.
A Films 1!
Is that just one?
Yeah. Daryl Pham! So I will need your address. Do not send it YouTube messages. I will not see that. Send it Facebook, email. The email is in my About section. Congratulations. So last time I showed some candidates. These are the rest of the candidates. 999. This is a Nintendo DS game, but it's a mystery set on a ship. I don't want to spoil it. It goes places. And it has one of the most amazing endings. Oh, if you have any interest in good stories, play this game. In fact, they have it for iPhone and they stripped all the puzzles out, so it's just the story. Animal Crossing Wild World. I call it nostalgia the video game. It's somehow nostalgic, even if you've never played the game before. Me, Brian, and Andrew, we all went to Best Buy together, got this game, came back, and we were all playing together. This was the first time we had played an Animal Crossing game. And we were like, oh man, oh, this just happened. Oh man, you could sell your fruit, blah, blah, blah. And the music was just so nostalgic. And then at one point, one of the frog characters, his name is Frobert, he gave me a hat. And I'll never forget this, man. That hat was like life-changing. We were like, you can talk to characters and they give you hats. It looks like a kid's game, and it probably is, but it's more accurate to say that it's kind of like Disney, how it's like for anybody. Oendan. This is a rhythm game. Came out when I was in Japan. In fact, if you look at the vlog where I went back to my host family's house and I said there used to be a game store up there, that's where I bought this game at. In any case, this is one of the best rhythm games ever made. It's an awesome game. Tactics Ogre. It is much like Final Fantasy Tactics, which I talked about in the last vlog, made by the same team. Maybe the best tactics game ever made. Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3. The absolutely bat crazy ending of Metal Gear Solid 2, which actually is a very prescient game because Hideo Kojima, he predicted fake news in Twitter. In Metal Gear Solid 3, this is a much more straightforward game, story-wise especially, but it's one of those games where the ending kept getting escalated. Like, oh, that has to be the ending of the game. And then another thing would happen. And then you're on a jet, and then you're like, okay, that's gotta be the end. And then even more happens. It's Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. These have the best atmosphere in a video game, maybe ever. It's very hard to explain in words, but the feeling of it is undeniable. One of my favorite soundtracks ever. In fact, this one's really funny because one New Year's I was at Brian and Andrew's house. All three of us were in the basement playing, and I remember their mom was like, yeah, you guys gotta come up and watch the midnight thing. And then finally she's like, okay, you guys have to come now. It's about to be midnight. And I was like, nope, I'm about to beat the game, I'm staying. So Brian and Andrew, they had to leave. It's so worth it, dude. Like, who cares about the ball dropping? That was a much better memory. Okay, Kingdom Hearts 2, one of my very favorite series of all time. I actually played it in Japanese from start to finish, so I kind of have holes on the story. I never went back and played it in English. I think what Kingdom Hearts does best is its raw emotion. It's about the experience. Dragon Quest VIII. This is the only Dragon Quest game I've actually finished, and boy was it too long. But the music, the sense of adventure, like, I think that's what this game does better than anything else. That feeling of roaming a countryside. Crystal Chronicles. Speaking of a game that does adventure very well. This game was nostalgic before I even played it. Like, this game basically is Adventure Archives, the video game. The name Adventure Archives even comes from, like, Crystal Chronicles. I mean that. That alliteration is something that we were inspired by from this game. Super Smash Bros. Melee, like, this is my football. If you like watching football or basketball or any professional sport, this is what I like to watch. Super Mario Galaxy, probably the best game on the Wii. Incredible music. First time they orchestrated music for that game. Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey. These were both made by the creator of Final Fantasy, Hironobu Sakaguchi. These are comfort food video games right there. Let me tell you right now, Halo 1 is going on the list. This is the most fun I've ever had playing multiplayer. When I was living in New York, I was in a studio apartment and I didn't know anybody yet when I was there. Me, Brian, and my cousin Danny, every single night, like who could get on first? And it'd be like, yep, I'm on Halo. And we'd start playing, the Mongoose, Valhalla, Standoff. Good times were had by all. Halo 1, some of you might not be old enough to remember this. This game was announced for the Macintosh by Steve Jobs at a Macworld or something. That debut trailer showed who would later become the Master Chief jump in a Jeep, and then 2 other guys got in and they were shooting on the chain gun and they were all driving around running away from Banshees. From the moment I saw that trailer, I remember being in Brian's room and I said to Brian and Andrew, I was like, oh my God, or maybe not Andrew. I don't know if Andrew was alive yet. It might have been my cousin James. I said to them, when this game comes out, we're going to get in that Jeep and just drive everywhere. And in 2001, it was finally released for the Xbox. My brother asked for Halo for Christmas, and on Christmas morning, my life was literally changed. I had never experienced a video game that was that much fun to play with another person in my life. We played on Assault on the Control Room. Assault on the Control Room is the greatest level in video gaming history. I speak in hyperbole so much, I don't even know if that's true. So I had the Jeep and Sergeant Johnson was like on the side of the tank and my brother was driving the tank and I had a chain gunner. And then we were just trying to keep Sergeant Johnson alive that whole time. Oh my God, going through those huge canyons. None of the Halos have come even close to the single player of this game. The feel of this and like that last ditch desperation where you're like, I am a super soldier, the last hope of humanity, and you're on this adventure. Like this adventure. And like it literally changed games. After Halo, first-person shooters just like flooded the market. Like that's all you saw for a long time. So the Nintendo Switch comes out tomorrow, along with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I will most definitely be getting one. I will not be doing the midnight launch because I am an old man. I will try to make a vlog tomorrow, but we know how that goes when a new game comes out. Such is life. Thank you for watching today's vlog. I'll see you tomorrow.
What's that?
Don't mind me, Mr. Glenn. Those knocked her. Uphills are a little tougher on the way back.
On the way there, it's a downhill.